What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another GROK update. Today is December 19th. It is 9:23 p.m. on the West Coast. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do not make investments based on what I say in these videos. So GROK is currently trading at 0.0086 USD per GROK token. You got a market cap of around $60 million. Circulating supply is 6.9 billion tokens with over 16,000 holders on the coin. So there's not a whole lot of breaking news to talk about. Not many recent developments. So we're going to do some technical analysis. Now, right off the bat, this is the 30-minute chart, and it's just screaming at you that this is an inverse head and shoulders. All right. So what is that? You have left shoulder right here. You have the head at the bottom right here, and then you have the right shoulder right here. Now that is an inverse head and shoulders. It happens after a downtrend. A downtrend is a series of lower lows and lower highs. All right, so that's how you can think of downtrends and uptrends. An uptrend is just the opposite. It is higher highs and higher lows. All right, so it's just like steps. So an inverse head and shoulders right here. And then the last part of it is the neckline. So where are we going to put the neckline? We're going to look at this point right here to this point right here. All right. So a lot of times the necklines will be perfectly 90 degrees straight across, but not always. All right. Especially with crypto, you're not always going to get the most pretty price action. But in any case, that's the neckline. So what you're looking for is two things. All right, you're looking for a price to break above this neckline, retest, and continue upward. And as that's happening, you also want to see the volume down here. All right, you want to see the volume increase during that breakout. If you see a breakout with not much volume, a weak breakout, it's usually going to fail. It's usually going to be a false breakout. So again, this is the 30-minute chart, inverse head and shoulders. It is clear as day. Now I'm gonna back it out a little bit. Let's zoom out to the 4-hour so we can see a more macro view of what's going on. So we've been in a downtrend since the end of November 27th. So that's about 3 weeks. But what you're seeing here is, well, first of all, you're seeing consolidation around this 0.006 to 0.008 region. And if I pull up the volume profile, you'll see why the price went to that range. All right, so this is an indicator that shows you what price points had the most action going on, the most volume going on. And it can show you kind of where price gets magnetized towards. All right, so if we look at it on the 4-hour and we're looking at all of the price action history since launch, you can see that there are two beefy zones. One of them is 0.012 up here. The other one is down here, right where the price action is at. And it starts at about 0.008 flat. And then it goes to 0.009353. So you could say the next major resistance level is about, let's just call it 9.4. Nothing's ever perfect with technical analysis, ever. But this is where there's been the second most volume in the history of GROK. The first most volume is up here at 0.012. And then after price goes above 0.012, there's really little resistance. You see that? You see how it curves in like that? So there hasn't been, relatively speaking, a whole lot of volume up in this region. And so it makes it easy for price to just slice right through that. Okay, so that's another thing to keep in mind. Let's take off this volume profile and just go back to the patterns, go back to the basics. The first thing I ever learned was just candlesticks. And you can do a lot with just naked charting. Naked charting is like just not using a lot of indicators. really just reading candlesticks. And you can do a lot with that alone. But combine that with volume, RSI, MACD. Like we'll pull up the RSI and look at it on a higher time frame, like the one we're on right now, like the 4 hours. So just a little piece of education right here. The RSI is just showing you when something is oversold or overbought. So if it's overbought, it's super high, it's likely going to correct. If it's oversold and the price is super low, that's it's undervalued, then the price is likely to correct to the upside. All right, so this is the midpoint. It's at 50. You got 50, 30, and 70. When you see this line cross above 50, that's positive momentum. When you see it cross below 50, that's negative momentum. So if you're bullish, you want to see it cross above. As you can see, this is the 4 hour. I like to look at the higher time frames. It gives you a better idea of what's going on. And you can mark up the RSI as well, man. TA is, it's a bit of an art. You see how all that lines up perfectly right there? So 1, 2, 3, 4 touches right there. You have an uptrend with the RSI. So there's trends everywhere. But that's the RSI. So it crossed 50. And I've been watching the price action pretty much all day. Now that I think about it, I've watched like every single candle. And now if we zoom in, you had this push up. You had this push up yesterday evening. It went 31% in a matter of, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours, something like that. Now, that would have been the flagpole of the bull flag that was playing out like that, okay? But that became invalidated because of this breakout right here, because of this price action going up. And now it might do a double top, so I know it's a little messy. It's just like kind of how my life is, but you're gonna see either a double top right here, or you're gonna see that become invalidated, and it would have to break above 0.0089. So it's just levels. It's just levels of support and resistance. And if you want to mark those horizontal levels, you look at the higher time frame and you look at where price has bounced off of. All right, so right here, price bounced off of it. Right here, price bounced off, almost right there, and right here, it just poked it right there. So 0.0089 is, let's just call it 0.009, is a big point of resistance. Bottom level of support would be 0.006, and then we can just fill in the rest. This would be a level because that's where the left shoulder stopped at. This would be a level because it's where the right shoulder stopped at. And then it's just price action bouncing in between those levels. And then you just watch if it breaks. You watch for the corresponding volume as well. And then something else I wanted to point out is, what's up, Baker? There was a big buy that came through. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Oh, here it is. All right. So this happened like a few hours ago. It was a 46 ETH buy. All right. So you can see they bought 46 ETH, which is like around $100,000. So they bought 11 million GROK. And then there was another transaction. Somebody else came in and picked up almost 2 ETH. And then right after that happened, this bot, it's not like a real human trading. This is a bot. It's an algorithmic buying and trading profitable arbitrage strategy. So it's called a MEV bot. I'm going to show you like more exactly what that means. So they're basically like scalping. They're taking really tiny amounts away from the person that they're sandwiching. Now, if we click on this is why Dex Tools is pretty cool. You can look at the exact transaction. All right. So they're doing a whole bunch of transactions. It says MEVBot right here. A really popular one is Jared from Subway.eth. I think that's what it's called. And they're like all over the place. And they're not, when you see those big buys, I wouldn't get too excited because they're just scalping. They're buying a huge amount and then selling a huge amount right back, like seconds later. And they're kind of just screwing the person in the middle. They're just like taking just a fraction of profit right there. And Dex Tools will have this red logo right here, and it will say drained, how much ETH they drained, and it'll have this yellow logo, bought smart contract right there. So the reason I point that out is because you see that on the chart. So it can be a little confusing when you see the MEVBot make a big buy or a big sell, because it creates this long wick right here that really shouldn't be on the chart. This is a 20% wick. So you just have to ignore that going forward. I wish Dex Tools had a way to like remove it, but in any case, just be aware of that. When you see like super huge buys, if it has this red logo or this yellow logo, it's not like a real human super bullish on the cryptocurrency. And just to go a little bit further, MEVBots are software tools built to monitor the Ethereum blockchain, identify profitable opportunities, and automatically execute those transactions for their users. So it's a maximal extractable value. And this is Google Trends right here. I used to use this a lot to see how popular a certain keyword is when I was trading the stock market. It can be really helpful, especially for like a newer ticker, you know, something that just went public, or a new piece of technology or something like that, something that's new to the world. And GROK as a token and as the AI chatbot is new to the world. And as you can see, it shows interest over time. It ranks it on a scale from 0 to 100, depending on the time span that you select. So right here, I put in, check out the past 5 years, look for the term GROK, G-R-O-K. I didn't put the dollar sign. That kind of gives you skewed results. But in any case, you can see basically zero interest until early November. And it went up to a high of 100. That's relatively speaking. So November 5th to the 11th, it peaked at 100, came back down to around 25, and then it's on a bit of an uptick at 37. So really not a whole lot to talk about right now. My conviction in GROK remains incredibly high. There would have to be some wild card event for me to lose conviction in GROK, and that's just me personally. So hopefully you learned something, and maybe we'll go a little bit further into technical analysis. Again, as always, you can email me, hey Jackson, can you talk about this in the video? Super open to ideas, and I will see you for the next update. Peace.